Hey everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I say welcome instead of welcome back because I've got like, I don't know, 5 videos up, so this is probably your first time coming across me. Today we're working with a little bit of a different lighting. I don't know if I hate it, don't know if I love it, but this is what it's gonna be today. um, as you might have guessed by the title of this video, we're going to be talking about UC Riverside, as per usual, and the common misconception about attending UC Riverside. So I've been in the Reddits, I've been, in those group chats, and I've seen a lot of questions about UC Riverside recently, and whether you should go to a UC or Cal State or different things like that, and saying that like UC Riverside is known for not being as high quality of a school as other schools, and I just don't think it's true, and I just don't think it's reasonable to assume that. I think like coming from a high school perspective, coming from a high school, you're limited to probably a lot of the knowledge that you gather in high school, or what's the gossip on the internet is, and the fact that you can't even visit the campus to feel what the campus life is about. That's also an issue. So I would say that a lot of these ideas of what UC Riverside is from people who have not been to UC Riverside, because I haven't really talked to many people, if any at all. I really haven't talked to anybody who's gone to UC Riverside and would say that we're UC rejects or we're different things like that. So I wanted to say that UC Riverside is an amazing campus. It's highly ranked nationally, internationally, and in the state of California. We are a UC system. We have one of the best public education you can get in the United States of America. We have an excellent medical school with great programs that lead to that medical school. There's so many benefits, and if you want me to do a video about that, I'm totally down to do that, because something about the Inland Empire is that we don't have enough doctors. There's not enough doctors in the Inland Empire because people get their degrees and then they leave. They go to LA, they go to Orange County, and they don't stay in the IE. And so we have a deficit of doctors to the amount of people who are here at in the IE. So there's incentives that are being made so that students can go to UC Riverside, stay in the IE, So like, for instance, if you're an undergraduate student and you're at UC Riverside and you want to get a medical degree, you can apply to the med school, and you're only competing against people who are UC Riverside students. That makes you automatically much more competitive than somebody who came from outside of UC Riverside into the college into the medical school or apply. So that's awesome benefit if you know what you want to do. I just say that like that's one of the great things about UC Riverside. Also, it's a UC. Let me tell you this. A lot of those programs that are happening at the other UCs and UCLA, UC Berkeley, they are here too, because the UC is one system. It's not like it's really a competition. It's more just like what is best for you. If you want to study abroad and you don't want to go to UC Riverside because you like UCLA study abroad programs better, newsflash, you can actually do the same study abroad program available to UCLA's study abroad, because it's the same system, So and that's called UCEAP, and it's the same. They're the same programs, and even if the programs are only available to UCLA students, you could still get in contact with a UC professor and be able to work something out, because we're all connected, and you pretty much can enter into the majority of programs available at any UC. So if study abroad was a problem, we got the same stuff. We are an R1 research institution. So if you want to do research and get paid to do research, we get funded for that. You can get funded for your educational research that you're going to do. So that's another thing that UC Riverside has. Our campus is absolutely gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful. It's large, but it's not too many students. It's a very nice community. And also, there's so many opportunities for students on campus, if you are interested in politics, you can go to lobby days. If you're interested in just like social justice, you can do social justice. If you're interested in Model United Nations, and I'm saying a lot of political stuff because I was a poli-sci major not an undergrad, but as a in my associate's degree. Now I'm not, but I was really interested in that, and I took advantage of those opportunities. But there's a whole bunch of different opportunities for business majors, any type of major you can think of. You can go attend events, you can go to conferences, and these conferences are oftentimes funded by the university as long as you sign up and you apply, you know? So we have a lot of opportunities for students, and I don't know. I think the stigma of UC rejects or UC Riverside is somehow less than the UCs. Other UCs is like, okay, it's what less well known. We were founded in 1954, okay? So we're not as old of a school. We're pretty old, but we're not as old of a school. I would also say, you know, UC Riverside gets a bad rep because people go there who are commuters, or they're not necessarily on campus, but that's just, we're the only UC that's in the IE. And the IE, when you're considering like Los Angeles and Orange County, the IE, the county, there's much more land and there's much more driving distance between the counties. So we serve a lot of students who are within the IE. As a comparison to Los Angeles, it's easy to be on campus and be able to visit home because it's a small county. Orange County is a very, very small county. So we are probably, I don't know if we are, but Riverside County and San Bernardino County, we're like a few of the largest counties that they have in California as far as land. Not as far as people, but as far as land. So that's, I would say, is a reason why a lot of students end up commuting, because it's the closest school to them, and it's a UC, and you get a world-class education at a public institution. Additionally, the financial aid that is available to a UCLA student or any other UC student, UCI, UCSB, that is also available to UC Riverside students. There's something called the Blue and Gold Scholarship. And I hope, I actually am going to do a video on this because I feel like a lot of people don't understand the financial aid that is offered at UC Riverside or offered at a UC. And if you make below a certain income, your tuition is covered. Your tuition is completely free if your family makes below a certain income. A lot of people just write off the UC system completely because they feel that they can't be financially supported. But if you're a low income student, the Blue and Gold Scholarship, the Blue and Gold financial aid, you can get your tuition covered completely, and all you would have to cover is the expenses outside that. So that's like housing, and that's like books and transportation and things like that. But the tuition is a large chunk of what you would have covered. So I'll also make a video on that and let me know in the comments if you want to, how detailed, what questions you have about the financial aid system at the UC, because it can get confusing, but it's really actually rather simple, and people just don't know about it because nobody really tells them about the fact that you can get free tuition if you're a low income student. Anyway, we also have to consider the fact that one thing that's great about UC Riverside is we're number one in social mobility. That means people are getting their education for lots of first generation students, families who haven't gone to college prior to this time, and they're getting degrees and they're going into jobs that are putting them in different tax brackets and are just providing them with more income. And so social mobility, we're number one in that. So if you're a student who is thinking has a challenge of being a first generation student, UC Riverside is excellent in getting you to the point that you need to get to, and challenging and doing this new threshold of doing this new endeavor where your family might have not gone before. And even if your family is not a first generation but like low income or any other type of things, we give those opportunities and our students are successful. Okay. But I will say that, as like any UC, I will also say that, or any college in general, UC Riverside has its faults. It's not a perfect school. We don't have a football team, so if you want to go somewhere that has a football team, don't go to UC Riverside. We don't got a football team. We're still doing one in the sports that we do have. And we also have, if you're interested in not playing collegiately, you can also play intramural sports and different things like that. So we have a lot of opportunities for students, okay? We have a lot of opportunities. Well, let's see, another downside of UC Riverside, I don't know. It's a I think the downside of UC Riverside, let's hear it. One thing about UC Riverside is that it's not it's not the type of school that's gonna be like, yo, I got this thing for you. Here you go. Happy birthday. You're good to go, you know? It's the type of school where, okay, I want this. I want to go do this thing. And oh, look at over there. They got it over there for me. Okay. Reach out and grab it. It's not gonna be like a private institution and it's like, hey, we have this thing, sign up for it now. They'll send you emails, they'll send you things, but it's up to you. Well, how engaged you want to be at UC Riverside. So if you want to be the type of person who's going to be chilling and chilling in the cut, you can do that. But if you want to be a leader, there's plenty of opportunities for leaders. It feels like UC Riverside really gives you the power and the space to grow. You know, it gives you the space to grow as a person and as a leader. Whereas if you go to some of those big name schools, you might not have the same experience. You might feel that it's very competitive. One thing about UC Riverside, it doesn't feel extremely competitive. It doesn't feel like you're failing everything. People are supporting you. If you're a transfer student like me, there's so many transfer students that are in your classes and you don't feel alone. So if you're the type of person that wants support, if you're the type of person who likes community and values community, I feel like UC Riverside is a great school. Also, I wanted to make a disclaimer, and maybe I'll mention this in other videos too. College isn't for everyone. College doesn't have to be for everyone. And if your disdain for UC Riverside or any college is that you don't want to go to college, then take some time and figure out if college is what you really want to do. Don't go enter into a UC or enter into any college just because somebody told you to do it. Don't do that. If you're considering college, go to a community college near you, especially during a pandemic, and figure out if you want to spend 4 years of your life or more learning and educating yourself. Because maybe you want to do a trade and do 2 years. Maybe you want to do internships. Maybe you have something you already want to do it that doesn't require college. Maybe you could take a 6-month course and already be on your way to the career path you want. Like, I'm a college student. And I'll advocate for college as much, and because I like education. You can see behind me my fake books for my bookshelf that I don't have right now. But eventually this will be a real bookshelf because I like to read, and so I feel like college was a step for me. But I don't think that everybody has to go to college. I don't think it's necessary for everybody to succeed in life. So if you don't want to go to college, don't go to college. Simple as that. But comment down below if you have a lot of questions about UC Riverside. But I would say that my college is a great school. You ain't gonna tell me that I didn't get a good education. I did so much stuff at this school, even during a pandemic, and I felt very supported. And of course, there's times when I don't feel supported and when I'm confused and I'm just like, what's going on? But I feel like that comes with every institution, and every institution needs improvement. I don't think that you should discount UC Riverside just because of rumors that you heard in the rumor mill. You know, I don't think you should discount UC Riverside just because the internet says it's a bad school. One of the reasons people might be dissatisfied with UC Riverside is maybe college wasn't for them, or UC Riverside just wasn't for them. But just because UC Riverside isn't for you personally as a college, it doesn't mean that it's not for everyone. I think that everybody should consider UC Riverside if you get into the school. It's up to you whether or not you want to endeavor to explore whether UC Riverside is good for you or not. I can't tell you what to do. I say don't write it off completely and apply to the school. Because most people who end up at UC Riverside have a great time. And even if there were people who didn't think that they would be going to UC Riverside, a lot of students come out better for it and happy having chosen UC Riverside. Choose whatever school you're going to choose, and yeah, I would say that's it for this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you want to know about UC Riverside. I'm only going to be making these videos until I graduate, which is prayerfully spring. Just let me know what you want to know, because I'm going to do some more videos if I have the time. Anyway, thank you for watching. Click on some of my other videos and some of the things about UC Riverside. I did a few vlogs, all that stuff. I've been talking for a long time, so this video is probably going to have to be edited, but thanks everyone.